Good day, everyone. I'm Nasir Organisamurthy. Together with my teammates, we will be presenting our ethical hacking project, which focuses on a system hacking, specifically password cracking attack, in a controlled virtual environment. This demonstration is conducted in a controlled environment using Kali Linux as the attacker machine and Metasploitable as the target system. The purpose of this project is to understand how weak passwords can be exploited and why strong security practices are important. Cybersecurity is essential in protecting systems, networks, and data from unauthorized access. Ethical hacking is a legal and controlled way of testing systems to identify weaknesses before real attackers exploit them. So one of the most common vulnerabilities in systems today is weak passwords. There are so many users still use simple, or we can say predictable passwords, which makes it easier for attackers to gain access. There are several types of password attacks. The first is brute force attack, where the attacker tries every possible combination of characters. This method is very slow, but it eventually succeeds. Next is the dictionary attack, where the attacker uses a list of common passwords to guess the correct one. So the attack we are demonstrating is known as password cracking. So password cracking is the process of recovering or guessing passwords using automated tools. So attackers use this method to gain access to system without knowing the actual password beforehand. So once the password is discovered, the attacker can just log in as a legitimate user, making the attack very dangerous. Now, let's look at how the attack works step by step. First, the attacker identifies the target system and ensures it is reachable. Second, the attacker scans the system to find open ports and services. In our case, we focus on the SSH service. Third, the attacker uses a password cracking tool along with wordless to attempt multiple logins. So finally, once the correct password is found, the attacker can just gain access to the system. And yeah, that's it from me. Over to Sivaram. He'll explain the vulnerabilities. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. So my name is Yolam and today I will be presenting about the system's vulnerability. First, the system has a weak authentication system, meaning it does not protect user login credentials properly. The authentication mechanism lacks strong security controls, making it easier for attackers to bypass or compromise user accounts. Secondly, the system still uses default credentials where those credentials are publicly known and often documented online, so attackers can easily find them. If administrators do not change these defaults after installation, it creates a direct entry point for unauthorized access without requiring advanced technique. Third, the system allows simple and guessable passwords. There is no password complexity, so users can set weak password such as 123456 or even ABCDEFG. This makes the system highly vulnerable to dictionary attacks, where attackers uses common password lists to gain access easily. Fourth, there is no account lockout mechanism. This means that even after multiple failed login attempts, the system do not block or restrict the user account. This indicates that the attackers can try to log into the account 10 times, 100, or even 1,000 times. As a result, attackers can continue trying different passwords without any consequences. Lastly, the system allows unlimited login attempts. There is no rate limiting or delay attempts, which makes it easier for attackers to perform brute force attacks efficiently using automated tools such as bots or even AI. During our experiment, We successfully exploited this vulnerability using a dictionary attack. The attacker was able to repeatedly attempt password until the correct credential were found, gaining unauthorized access to SSH. Based on this finding, this vulnerability is classified as high risk because it can directly lead to unauthorized access, system compromise, and potential data breaches.
This is our ethical hacking password cracking project. We have two virtual machines on an isolated network. On left, Kali Linux, our attacker machine at IP 192.168.56.101. It has our Python password cracking script. On right, Metasploitable table, our vulnerability target at 192.168.56.102. It's running SSH with tested accounts that have weak passwords like password123, welcome, and admin123. Our attack is simple. We have word list of 9 common passwords and 4 target names. The script tries all 36 combination automatically. As you can see in the ping test, both machines are connected with perfect network connectivity, 0 packet loss. Here our password cracking script executing against the target. The script systematically tries each password against each username. You can see the successful attempts highlighted in the green. This is the main result. We have successfully cracked 3 passwords in under 2 minutes. Test user with passwords password123, user 1 with password welcome, MSF admin with the default password MSF admin. That's 75% success rate. 3 out of 4 accounts are compromised. What's the critical understanding in this? This entire attack took less than 2 minutes. An attacker now has legitimate access to the 3 user accounts. Let me verify those with the credentials. And I will send all the demo screenshots in next slide, sir.
Okay, hi everyone. In this section, I will discuss the impact of analysis of password cracking attacks and why they pose a serious security risk. One of the most immediate impact is unauthorized access. When an attacker successfully crack a password, they can bypass authentication control and gain access to restricted areas of the system. In this project, it's shown that weak password can be easily exploited, allowing attackers to log in without permission. Another major impact of this is data breach and information leakage. Once inside the system, the attackers can access sensitive data such as user credentials, personal information, and confidential organization data. This can lead to identity thief, financial loss, and reputation damage. Password cracking can also result in system compromise. Attackers may modify or delete important files, change the system setting, or distribute normal operation. This can affect the system performance, even interrupt business continuity. In addition, attackers may perform privilege escalation where they can gain high level of access such as administrator or root privileges. With this level of control, they can carry out more advanced attacks, including installing malware or backdoors. Backdoors allow attackers to maintain long-term access without any detection. For organizations, the impact can be severe, including loss of customer trust, legal consequences, and financial loss. Because of this risk, weak authentication considered a high-risk vulnerability, as it is easily to exploit and can lead into complete system compromise. In conclusion, password cracking attacks can be significant and far-reaching impact, highlighting the importance of implementing strong security measures. Okay, now I'll discuss the countermeasures and prevention strategies to reduce the risk of password cracking attacks. The first and the most important measure is implementing a strong password policy. Users should create passwords that include mix of uppercases and lowercases, numbers, and special characters while avoiding common or predictable passwords. Strong password can be made it more difficult for the attackers to succeed. Another important control is the account lockout mechanism, which limit number of login attempts. For example, an account can be locked after 3 or 5 times failed attempt. This is to prevent automated tool from continuous guessing password. In addition, multi-factor authentication or MFA should be implemented. MFA requires users to verify their identity using multiple methods such as a password and a one-time code or biometric verification. Even if a password compromised, MFA adds an extra layer of security. Organizations should also ensure the removal of default credentials, as attackers often use to gain access to the system. Default accounts should be disabled or replaced with strong credentials. Furthermore, implementing instruction detection and prevention system or IDS or IPS help monitor suspicious activities and respond potential threat in real time. Limiting login attempts and applying rate limit can also slow down the attackers and make the password cracking less effective. Regular security audits and system updates are essential to identify vulnerabilities and ensure the system are protected against new threats. Finally, user awareness and training play a crucial role. Educating users about password and phishing attacks can reduce human-related vulnerabilities. In conclusion, by combining strong technical control with user awareness, organization can significantly reduce the risk of password cracking and improve overall the system security. Thank you.